G'day and welcome to the Midweek Wrap, where we stay connected and we look at life from a biblical perspective. And
it's an exciting week this week, Rich.
Yeah, we're going to meet in person and it's going to be great. Looking forward to seeing you all.
We want to show you, though, this week some drawings of what our building could look like. So we've had an architect working on some drawings there early. They're provisional. We want to keep having a conversation, but we want to show you that. But first,
this will be the stage 1 building. This won't be the full package. We're looking for stage 2 down the track, but stage 1. But first,
we're getting together this week. Youth group is meeting in person on Friday, and on Sunday we can have 50 people outdoors. So we want to talk about the process of what that's going to look like. But the things have changed even from Sunday. What we said on Sunday has changed with the Premier making more announcements. So this Sunday, the 15th, is going to be 50 people. Next Sunday, the 22nd will be 50 people, but from the 29th we'll be able to have up to 500 people
in
outdoors.
Groups of 50, whatever that means. We're finding out what that means.
But we can have as many people as we want outdoors effectively, provided that we do all the distancing thing. So
it's kind of like the next 2 weeks will be almost like a dress rehearsal for the third week when hopefully everyone will be back with us together.
So how it's going to look, we're going to have a booking process, so we can only have 50 people, and you know, it takes about 25 people on a Sunday morning to make church happen, with all the things that happen, set up, pack up, kids, teams, welcoming, all those things. So a big part of the 50 is actually going to be people doing things, but the bookings are going to open soon for Sunday, and there'll be a link in the video description. You can hit that and book in for Sunday. But remember, there's next Sunday if you miss out this Sunday, but after that, there's the prospect of all of us, no one missing out.
But we will keep live streaming until the vaccine has arrived and we're safely, there'll be no concerns about coming. So this afternoon's job is to buy some extra tech gear so that we can get that live stream happening. There's a few bits of equipment we need to purchase.
Yeah, so the experience of coming to church will be a bit different. So when you arrive, and we'd like you to arrive at 9:45 so that we can start the stream in a quiet space at 10 o'clock. So 9:45, when you arrive, you'll be greeted by our check-in team. So just like you go to the cafe, you have to record your details. We're going to have a check-in system that's actually going to be digital, and you will actually print you a name tag. So after 9 months, I'm sure you will have forgotten somebody's name.
Now you'll have the name remembered because the name tag will be there.
They will help us out, and we'll also be a way of recording our details so that we can be compliant with things. What happens next? We go into spaced out seating, so there'll be chairs arranged in pairs which you can move to for your family group or to sit on your own if you're a single person, whatever it might be, so we can have our distance kind of situation.
Yeah.
And then we'll have a couple of rooms open for the younger kids.
Preschool and creche programs, there'll be some space for them, so we look forward to that.
But our primary programs are still going to be happening online. So the primary age kids will be in the service, and they can either watch the video before they come or they can watch the video in the afternoon at home. So our amazing kids church crew are still putting together our preschool and primary lessons online, so no one misses out. So that'll be great. So kids will be in the service. Primary kids will be in the service. The younger ones will be out in the other rooms. That's close to what we needed to say about Sunday, I think.
We wanted to take you to looking at some of the drawings that we've got, but before we get there, we just wanted to look at 1 Peter chapter 2, which kind of reminds us that church is not about the building, it is actually about the people. Just want to read you these words. Like newborn babies, crave pure spiritual milk, so that by it you may grow up in your salvation, now that you have tasted that the Lord is good. That pure spiritual milk is God's word. That's what we do. We gather around God's word. And Peter goes on, as you come to him, the living stone, rejected by humans but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God through Jesus Christ. And so we are living stones. What matters is the people. The building's good. It really helps because you don't get hot and cold and wet and dry and all those sorts of things. Keeps you weatherproof and safe, but it's God's people that matters. That's what the whole thing's about.
Yeah, so what we really need is not a stone building, but a building for stones to gather around the word and be grown, built up in the word, build each other up, and to do those things together, to taste and see that the Lord is good together. So as we think about glorifying Jesus together by living and sharing new life in him, we're excited about the prospect of having a physical place to do that. And there's so many benefits of having a building of our own. We'll have a permanent visible presence in the community, so everyone commuting up and down Union Road will see us there.
We'll have a space to meet midweek, so we won't be kind of without a home to meet. We'll be able to have our midweek activities, events, training, all that sort of thing.
There's all kinds of things we can do with that space. We won't have to have negotiations with a landlord that might be more or less positive. And we've got a great relationship with the school, don't we?
The school's been terrific to us, but they did kick us out for the pandemic. They had to, of course, but we could have our own place where we could record church.
They need their spaces for different things at different times, and that's their prerogative, it's their space. But there's also, in our changing environment politically, the social ethics around things like sexual ethics and all those kind of values that we want to be able to speak freely the truth of the word without concern for how the school might be perceived, how the school might perceive us, how those dynamics work more broadly in our community. Having our own space will give us freedom to do all those things.
And no more set up and pack up. How good would that be?
We can set up a room and leave it the way we want.
Yeah. Still be there next week.
That's right. So hopefully it'll be actually a relief for people and a space that we can enjoy together, celebrate glorifying Jesus together in our own place. Really exciting. So Richard, we have something to look at.
We do. Coming up on the screen in a moment, you'll see the plans that our architect Adel has been generously volunteering to help. You'll see there a car park. There's an issue with the car park. We may not be able to get access to all of that. There's some negotiations with Whittlesea Council.
If you can see the red lines on the picture, that's where the power lines are.
Yeah, but so you'll see the larger building in the lower right part, that's stage 2. That's where we want to get to eventually. But you'll see we also have a stage 1, which is a smaller building. It'll seat around 200 people. And we'll convert the existing shed into a kind of a kids' church space. And the existing house will convert into some offices and a creche and kitchen. And so there's a few things going on there, but that's roughly where we're headed. We'd love to hear your feedback on that.
So just to connect those things to what you can see visually, on the very top right is a shed that exists on the block, and we're thinking that can be fitted out for kids' church rooms. That funny L-shaped or Z-shaped zigzag building is the existing house, and so there's a kitchen there, there's spaces for smaller meetings. There's also a beautiful big deck that's like a massive alfresco sort of dining area, which really, if you wanted to, you could seat 50 people there. And then that green space is kind of a courtyard, which we're hoping we'll be able to fence for kids to play in, that kind of thing. And then an auditorium sort of space with the seats you can see, and seats put where the architect thought they were a good idea to put, but we can put them wherever we want to make space for prams and all that kind of thing. But this is, it's a work in progress, and we're keen to hear your thoughts. So we've actually got a survey. We'd love you to hit this survey and tell us what matters most to you. These drawings are kind of what kind of space can we afford to build, and how will we use the block? But what actually happens in the buildings, is a conversation we want to keep having.
Yeah, and stage 2 further down the track. That's when you have the chandeliers and the diamonds and all that sort of thing.
We can't do everything, can we, in stage 1? And everything has a cost. So we want to get something so that we can be in our own space, be saving and moving towards the future. But we'd love to have your input on what we could be doing with that interim step, that first step. Yeah. But it's exciting. I'm excited, Rich.
Absolutely.
About that.
Yeah.
Seeing it on paper. I hope you're excited, and we'd love to hear what you're excited about, and if you have concerns, what's on the picture, what's missing, and things that you'd like to have be part of the conversation. Sunday, please book.
Please arrive
get
at
there
9:45.
And we look forward to seeing you sometime in the next few weeks when you can get along.
And that's a wrap. See you Sunday.
See you then.